We're raising a lot of heaven, the country parson.
Hi friends, a fence has many purposes. The reason you put up a fence is based upon your need. Some fence is built to keep livestock in. This gives you a better control of your herd, and it makes branding, feeding, and more that much simpler. A second purpose of a fence is to keep things out. With certain dangers such as rustlers, coyotes, and other predators, it is critical that you keep a barrier between the enemy and your herd. Now there's fences that we must erect in our lives that will help us grow and protect us from the dangers that exist in our life. Fences such as morals, ethics, and a godly belief system will encourage you in proper growth in your life. They will also safely guide and keep you from the predators of your life. Now, a fence is hard work to put up and a chore to maintain, both physically and spiritually. But without one, your enemy will seek you out and devour you. Shall I get the post hole digger? You be encouraged.
Rural Lifestyle, brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Good morning and welcome back to the show. We're at Premier Farm and Home, and Chad and I, you probably saw last week, talked about seed tags, and before I even left, I started rambling off questions to Chad, and he was like, well, that's a good question. Yeah. So we really, I mean, we could probably do a full day on seed tags, but we won't do a full day. I promise you, we're not going to do a full day on seed tags, because I looked at one, and there's some other kind of weird things in seed tags.
You know, you said you weren't going to go line by line,
right.
But maybe you need to. You know, one other thing I like to look at on there is the other crop thing. You were kind of looking at that saying, well, what is other crop?
Right.
I mean, you know, I have weed seed there, but what's that mean? Well, other crop is something else other than what you're planting that's used in production. So that may be ryegrass, which is another turf type. Could be orchard grass, another forage type thing. Some other crop that's in there. Now, if it's a plant and you don't want it to be there, is it still a weed? Yeah.
Right, sure, right.
You don't want it to be in there. So it's important that we also look at that other crop seed, because that's where we can get things like orchard grass, poana, which is like a bluegrass that can be really a big problem. And so you just want to look at that, also consider the other crop. Otherwise, you could be just as bad as if you had high weed seed.
Would Bermuda could that be another crop seed that kind of
It would only be in like another warm season type thing. It'd be very rare for you to see warm season in that, because it's grown, most of the seeds are grown in Oregon for the turf types. Bermuda doesn't grow in Oregon very well, so there wouldn't be any chance there. It's usually some other cool season grass that they couldn't quite get out of their field because it's hard to kill.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess probably most of the questions that other people are thinking, like I'm thinking, is why can't we just get 100% seed?
Well, that's a good question. Mother Nature will always have some little errors, some little skips. And
she's crazy.
The easy way to look at it is germination percentage. So if I have 10 seeds, and they just do that, they put 10 seeds in a little cup, they water them, and they see how many come up, and if we had 9 out of 10, we had 90%. Now, they're obviously going to do that on a larger scale, but that's the basic understanding. So one seed, for one reason or another, didn't get mature enough, maybe got damaged or something like that. So by counting those seeds, that's how they determine how much of it's actually going to come up. Yeah.
So real quick, as we finish up here, we want to look, we now are going line by line on the seed tag. So we want to look at other crop.
Yeah.
Weed seed.
Yep.
And
test date.
Test date. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Because if it's in Kansas, it has to be tested within 9 months. If it's tested within 9 months, we're good to go as far as germination. It is guaranteed. After 9 months, the vendor, like myself, has to retest it and make sure that it's holding to the tag.
Okay. Some people may be buying seed that may have sat in a big box store somewhere for the last 18 months. Is that seed still good?
It usually is. You just have to check the test date. For the most part, as long as it's stored well, which means doesn't it get exposure to extreme heat or moisture, your seed's good for a year or two. After that, it still has pretty good germination. Yep.
Perfect. We want to remind everybody, heycal.com.
Yeah.
And or you could just drive out here and see the test plots in the back, and you can kind of see everything that's been grown and watered and come back up and all that other fun stuff. So,
all right. Well,
Chad,
thank you, Brian.
You're
Appreciate
very welcome,
time.
Chad. Thank you.